instead of just winning the game. There is a silver lining here, though. In the postseason, when the Lakers have lost, they've always followed it up with a win, and that margin of victory has been about over 12 points in those games. We expect that, correct, from them tonight here, Game 4?
Yes, especially AD in particular, having a subpar game, 15-5 rebounds. He knows that he was brought here to win a championship. They're right there. They can see the finish line. Don't start trotting just because you got a big lead and you're going toward the finish line. Go ahead and finish strong, and I think he knows that's what he has to do. Especially, I know he and LeBron is, probably had a glass of wine, talked about how they were going to approach this game.
Since it's football season, it reminds me of some looking fresh off the end of you about to cross that goal line, and you slow down. Next thing you know, that vet comes by and takes it and negates that touchdown. And that's what, for someone like, you could look at AD, that what he reminds me of rookie in the NBA Finals. He came out, relaxing, we got this, we just beat them 2 games in a row, and we beat them handily in second game, even though the score didn't show that, but they kind of put it on. He came out there like, okay, we got this, I'm AD, nobody can guard me. And that showed because he got in foul trouble, he had silly turnovers, bounce the ball out of bounds, throw it to nobody over. So, now that he's been smacked in the face, he realized, hey, this is not Heat team can play, so I expect him to have a better game.
I know there's a lot of pressure or eyes, if you will, on Anthony Davis given that Game 3 performance. But as great as LeBron's numbers were, if you will, minus the turnovers in Game 3, do you expect a kind of different attitude, mindset, just kind of overall look from him naturally out of the gate?
Of course. Just from the look he gave Jimmy Butler walking off the floor, I know he's going to come in tonight. And this is one of those games. This is a statement game because now everybody's talking about how Jimmy Butler outplayed him, how he's not going to get MVP on the series and go to AD. And it's one of those things that I said this a couple shows ago when I was talking poke the bear. And LeBron's that bear. You don't want to poke the bear.
That was fair.
Yeah, this case LeBron is bad, And now you don't poke him, the world is poking. And so if there is a true sign of greatness in this guy. And great athletes from Michael Jordan, Kobe, Shaq, all these guys get poked. They rise to the occasion. I think you're going to see probably the best game in the playoffs come tonight.
Well, there is some news that we got to get to, I think, on the Heat side of things, because they've dealt with some injuries. But how about this? The injury update coming directly from the Miami Heat. Bam Adebayo, next strength, will play in tonight's NBA Finals Game 4 versus the Lakers. Goran Dragic, foot. He has officially been ruled out, guys. That was a legit minute-by-minute moment for Goran. So he is out, but Bam is back in. How does that change the way, James, that the Heat play? Because I actually thought Kelly Olynyk was great for them in the opportunities he was able to space the floor. But Bam brings, of course, another aggressiveness.
It depends on, if he's 100%, if he's 75%, or, if he's able to do what he does all season long. Personally, having missed a couple games and the chemistry they already have, I like, just like you said, what Olynyk has been doing and the way they created this little chemistry. I don't know if he's going to start or if he's going to come off the bench, but I like what they had already. But he can only bring another big, more rebounding, more defense, to go up against, Dwight Howard and AD. So having him back is, it's an asset.
For me, there are certain players in this league, when they go against certain teams, they're bugaboos. They're just going to bug you to death. And Olynyk is a bugaboo for the Lakers. Think about this.
I think it's been like that for a lot of teams.
You don't plan for them. I guarantee you, if you look at the play, if they have any game plan for him, there's no game plan. Oh, he's a shooter, do this. But Olynyk show he's an NBA player, and that's what you got to respect, because when you're on this stage, you're NBA Finals, you have a certain energy and a certain effort that you come out there. He came out there with something to prove, and he stretched forward. He's knocking down threes, and the Lakers was looking like, he can shoot threes. It's almost like they were surprised, but this is his resume. This is what he does. He's a stretch four, stretch five, whatever he may be, and he came out on fire, and he's been a thorn in the Lakers side for the last 2 games. So you have to put your eye on that guy and make sure that he don't let him get off tonight.
Yeah, I like the chemistry they have. If you want to bring Bam off the bench, I'm okay with that. But like you said, Rob, he's been proving that he's playing better than Bam in the last game.
Yep, so Bam is back, Goran is not. He will be out for Game 4. Let's get you live to the Lakers reporter, Mike Trudell, who is joining us right down the hall, getting you ready for Game 4. Hello, Mike.
Hey guys, what's happening? So all of the talk about Bam Adebayo, I actually would be surprised if he doesn't start, just given what he does on both ends, especially the defensive end for Miami. But I was curious with Frank Vogel, the way that the Lakers approach things defensively, right? They can cover things all over the court. They can go big, they can go small, they can switch, they can trap. We've seen all of that in the playoffs, but I did want to ask him specifically about the difference between Bam Adebayo, who of course is going to be more of a screen roller to the rim, versus the Olynyk or Myers-Leonard matchup where those guys have been popping. So here's what Frank Vogel had to say a couple months ago.
It's a very different attack, but obviously Bam's one of the best players in the world, and what he brings to the team.
The free throw line was going to be probably the top of the list as a key. Is it the same thing tonight? Is there something different that you've seen over the last couple of games, right?
In terms of putting him to the free throw line?
I mean, what's on top of the scouting report? You said kind of keeping him off the line was the main priority. I wonder if that's evolved at all.
Yeah, we just got to be better on the defensive end. We haven't been ourselves the last two games. I thought last game was a little bit better than game 2, but to win in the NBA Finals, we got to be better. So I'm expecting a better defensive effort tonight.
Anthony's had a pretty good track record when it comes to bounce back games. What have you noticed about his mindset during those performances? How do you think it can apply?
He's a great player, so it's obviously great players have great pride. If they have a subpar performance for whatever reason, they typically want to bounce back. There's a lot of assertiveness. We've seen that from Anthony throughout the course of this season, and hopefully we'll see that again tonight.
Yeah, I don't think there's much of a doubt you will see a different Anthony Davis tonight. That will go a long ways, guys. But as Ali mentioned earlier, the Lakers have always responded well to a loss this season, and the defense has been the thing that's led the way. So expect them to come out in full intensity, as they should, for an NBA Finals game tonight.
No doubt about it. Thanks so much, Mike. Defense. What does it do?
It's ball game.
Championships. Frenzy saying, consider this a warning, NBA. Do you guys remember that? Many people made fun of the Lakers for sending out this tweet. It's after a preseason game, which they dominated. But hey, I know the job is not done, but they're 2 wins away from winning an NBA title.
Yeah, I mean,
It was over a year ago.
I think everybody knew, even though there was no guarantees. We got AD mixed with LeBron, and especially when we start to pick up some of the other supporting players that the Lakers are going to be, tough to deal with if they gelled right. And if they, grew into what they are now, especially defensively. He brought that defensive pressure that the Lakers, didn't have consistently. And then you throw Dwight Howard in there, they really, and that's what AD wanted. He said he wanted to be Defensive Player of the Year. Didn't happen for him. So, we just want him to be like, Will, Shaq, Kareem, Mike. We want him to dominate, Rob, every night.
Yeah, that's the thing about all the greats that's come through the purple and gold. They win championships. And he has his ability to put his name in the Raptors, not just on a championship banner, but, in a retired jersey. There's some elite guys up there. But he needs to understand the sense of urgency that you have to come with each and every night. Not just being an NBA player, but putting on that purple and gold, because there's so many people that are shooting at you when you're in the purple and gold. And I don't think he quite gets that yet because of the pandemic and the bubble, but he getting a little feel of that because, it's playoffs and everybody's talking bad about him right now. I guarantee they would have said that who's in New Orleans. They were talking bad about because it's New Orleans. When you're in the Lakers uniform, the spotlight's brighter.
The media is still the same. They might not be in stadium, but the media is still
They're still there.
They're still there, yeah.
You know who may be talking bad about him? And it may not be in the form of words, but actions. We're going to have a little fun in this block because, Rob, you weren't here for Game 3, but did you see this from Tyler Hero?
Oh, yeah.
A rookie! James, when you saw it, you said...
Man. He's being so much trouble, Rob.
Dude, it's like...
A startle.
These guys nowadays with these antics, boy, if you'd have played from 90 to 2000, those 10-year spans right there, your lip would be like that because it's swollen, not because you've been looking at it. I'm telling you.
You know what you do, Rob, after you give your team? speech, you hit play, and put that on, you just walk out.
You just walk out. Well, we're gonna have some more fun with this. We have a couple side-by-sides. To remind everyone.
Oh, yeah, Billy Idol.
You guys are gonna have to walk me through this. Okay, Billy Idol.
Billy Idol. Time for a white
Tyler
man.
Hero channeling Billy Idol. Okay, we got another one. Oh, cat. Okay.
That's Farina Chow Chow.
We got one more. I actually know who this is.
Who's that?
Elvis Presley.
Okay.
That is the feeling of rookie Tyler Hero. And again, he dropped 37 in the conference
He'll
finals.
be in trouble for that.
But hey, I know, guys, that not a lot has been great in 2020. The Lakers, though, are in the finals. They have an opportunity to win a championship, and then there was that. Let's remind the whole world. Shout out to Baja.
Don't
Rashad.
turn it back, Rob. Let me explain it.
Please.
Rob and I were in the virtual. I was sitting beside Obama, and Obama said, "There's Shaq, and there's Big." And I thought he was getting ready to say Big Game James, and he said, "There's Big Shot Rob." I lost it, man. But, you know, Rob gets, not only does he have 7 NBA rings, but he has a congressional.
Well, first of all, me and Obama go way back.
You
know.
so do.
Yeah, we go way back. You know, I had the pleasure of doing a USO tour. We went to Afghanistan, visited the troops, and it was the moment when, you know, he was bringing the flag back from Afghanistan, and I got a chance to meet him. And it was surreal because he walked up to me and was like, "Let me introduce you to my people." I said, "This is," he said, "No introduction. Big Shot Bob, how you doing, sir?" I'm like, "President knows my name. The president knows my
That's
name."
it.
Big
That's all I
game,
got.
over under. Rob has listened to that moment on the virtual reality 25 times since.
Yeah, does not change how I feel.
Thank you.
Big Shot Bob.
Oh, Rob, you are one of a kind. We're about 30 minutes from tip-off for Game 4. Tyler Hero, there he is, working on his shot. Not his star. Let's pregame more about it. You know, and are winning by just over 12 points per. A big reason for that margin is the play of Anthony Davis. AD has scored 30 or more points in all 3 of the following games. For the Heat to tie up the series, it's going to come down to Jimmy Butler. The Big Base Coffee owner brewed up a special triple-double in Game 3. He scored a game-high 40 points when none of the Lakers reached over 25. For Butler, it was the second time dropping 40 points in these playoffs, and it was just the third 40-point triple-double in NBA Finals history. And now, he's getting some help. Game 4 marks the return of Heat big man Bam Adebayo. Bam sat out both Game 2 and 3 with a neck injury. It will be a welcome sight for the Heat fans. Bam averages almost 18 points and close to 11 boards in the playoffs this year. As for the other injured Heat star, Goran Dragic will not play tonight. He suffered a foot injury in Game 1. Back to the late show, Anthony Davis was hampered by 3 early fouls in Game 3 against the Heat. Here's what he did compared to the previous 2 games. In Game 1 and 2, he was averaging 33 and over 11 boards a game. Game 3, he had 15, 5 rebounds to go along with 5 turnovers. But don't worry, AD is ready to bounce back in Game 4.
It sucks just because you know if you play well and you've done your job, then possibly could have won a game. So it always sucks, when you lose, especially when you don't play well. You look at tape and you try to figure out ways to be better to prepare for next game.
Shaking off whatever happened is a really important part of moving forward to the next day. How different is that process here in a place where you're surrounded by your coaches and your teammates? There's basketball everywhere you look.
Well, the difference for me, I'm not a big social media guy, so I don't really be on it. I'm very disciplined to, especially after nights like last night. A lot of people get caught up in the news and social media and what everybody is saying. But I don't really care about it too much. I want to see my coaches. I want to see my teammates because I know they're going to tell me, how to get better for the next game. Prepare me the right way so I don't have a repeat of last night. So I want to be able to see these guys and talk to them and figure out the game plan for tomorrow night. So I know it's always beneficial to get away and kind of forget about it. But when you're here, you have to embrace that. You can't, like you said, you can't really run from it. And so I here to kind of help me through the process.
All right, time for a little Access 360. We're sticking with AD, of course, struggling there in Game 3. It is no secret. The story's out. What did the Heat do so well to contain?
Well, they did a couple of things to try to agitate AD, and as an elite player, you have to ways to get around it, and he has to be calm, he has to be cool, and collect his thoughts and understand, this dude is shorter than me, so his center guys will push me out. What can I do to rectify that? So he has to be patient, and teammates have to be patient also.
That was a great breakdown, and as we've talked, when it comes to the playoffs, it's all about adjustments. It was clear that the Heat wanted to take Anthony Davis out of what he did well, especially in games 1 and 2. Let's go inside Access, beginning with you on AD. In the 4 losses for the Lake Show, you see his averages compared to his averages in the following bounce-back game. And I think there's nothing more added to it. You expect him to bounce back and be big and play big here in Game 4.
Yeah, it's a must. You can have an off game here and there, especially during the regular season. During the playoffs, you can have an off game, but it can't be this type of game that he had the last time. It's got to be a game where he's going down, fighting hard, maybe missing a couple shots, but still impacting the game a little bit. He was not impactful. I know he had foul trouble. When you're that type of elite player, you have to find a way to stay on the floor. You can't make silly fouls. And I think, he had this, he wasn't playing well. He had that kind of a fake effort going, and that's why he got those silly fouls. But he's shown that his comeback game is strong. And I'm sure he and LeBron's had a conversation. He's looked at film. As we stated earlier, it's just his first time in the final. Sometimes you get a little lackadaisical or whatever. But I am sure tonight that he's going to come with it. And that's why, Rob, I beat you to it. And